welcome back to the channel today, guys. Now, I gotta be honest, it hasn't been that great of a day for me today. I actually had to go to a funeral earlier in the day, and I'm not exactly in a very chipper mood right now. Oh, and that sound you hear, that's my computer kind of blowing up too right now. So, not exactly great, to say the least, but I can always count on Spy X Family to cheer me up a bit, and that's exactly what happened today, because we had a very fun episode today, you know? We got to see a little bit of bonding between Anya and Yuri, which I don't even think they've met yet in our show, so it was a fun episode. And we got to see the birth of Daybreak, the world's best spy ever, to say the least. So, without further ado, let's just get straight into it and talk about Spy X Family, Part 2, Episode 6 today. So, our episode begins with us learning that Anya's midterm tests are coming up. And let me tell you guys, I don't miss this from school at all. At all. There are 4 subjects in total, and Stella Stars will actually be rewarded for the top 2 scoring students for each subject in each grade, meaning there's a lot riding on this, actually. On the other hand, those who get bad grades, failing marks, will receive a Tornerus Bolt. Very high-risk, high-reward tests, to say the least. And our girl Anya is feeling confident. She's studied hard lately, after all. But when Henderson gives her test back, let's just say he uses the perfect term of phrase. Not elegant. They're not good at all. And I kind of love the fact that Damien actually does her face against her in this instance. I actually kind of love that. I think it's kind of adorable as hell. Anya gets so heated. And on her way home from school, she actually notices that there's a full moon out and gets panicked. Runs home and asks Loid, like, how much of Mr. Moon will be out in 2 weeks? He tells her that in 2 weeks, it's going to be a new moon. And we learn something rather interesting about Anya, actually. That Anya, the super telepath who saved the world, has weaknesses as well. On the day each month that Mr. Moon goes away, Anya's powers to read minds go away too. And there's going to be an eclipse on the day of the test. So Anya can't cheat and read minds, so we're in a real predicament now. Starlight Anya is facing her biggest challenge ever. So the next day, since Loid has the entire day off, he actually offers to help her study all day long. And it's here that Loid tells us that her midterms covers 4 different subjects, which also means that she can receive up to 4 Tornatress bolts at once. And Anya is struggling. She cannot really retain much of this information. But it's here that Yuri tells them that, oh right, I asked Yuri if he'd be Anya's tutor the other day. And he seemed rather optimistic about it. I wonder why. I wonder why, guys. Yuri's such a weirdo. So it's here that Unkie shows up himself, Yuri, and he ain't exactly thrilled about Loid and Anya being there. As Yor actually introduces him to Anya, because they haven't met yet, technically, until now. And Yuri doesn't have that good of an impression of Anya, saying, so this imp is the child of the accursed forger. Tell her how you really feel, man. And as Anya starts reading his crazy sister-filled mind, even she starts getting sick. Like, damn, I just got some heartburn listening to all that crap. So Loid actually leaves to give them time to teach each other, for Yuri to teach Anya, and he says, damn, I came here because my sis asked me to come, but why must I bother with this dopey-faced gremlin? As he says, you get to stay with sis every day, you greedy little imp. I'll throw hard questions at her and show her how tough society can be. Like, Yuri, she's in first grade, man, come on. He's throwing, like, political questions and stuff at her. And of course she got them right because she can read minds. But then she realizes, wait, I can't cheat on the day of the test. I actually need to take this seriously. I can't read his mind. So it's here that Anya actually really starts trying to study on her own without using her abilities, and it's not going so smoothly. Yuri's getting kind of pissed off with her. So Yor's gotta give a little nudge like, please, Yuri, I'm counting on you, okay? And this guy folds. He folds so quick, man. Yuri's so weird. It's so strange, their relationship. At least on his side. But Anya's smart, though. She knows how to win him over with this, as she says, Anya will do her bestest. I'm gonna become an Imperial Scooter and become really important so that I can feed Mama lots of yummy things. And they both fold in this instance. They can't take it. Anya's got them wrapped around their finger. Her finger, as Yuri says, where did this angel come from? Yeah, she came down from heaven. She praised my sister. But Yuri's got to calm himself down by saying, this is the daughter of that vile sister stealer. Don't let her fool you, Yuri. But if this little gremlin helps her get high marks on her tutelage, Sis might actually say she loves me. So he decides to actually teach her. And then when they get down to it and he really is actually trying to teach her, he's a surprisingly good teacher, honestly. He's very intuitive and he's not yelling. He says just, it's fine that you got it wrong. Just realize why you got it wrong and correct yourself. He's surprisingly good. As this reminds Yor of all the times that Yuri used to help her back in the day studying. And as they're continuing to study, Anya starts getting a bit burnt out. And you can't really blame her. Studying for a long time takes a lot of concentration, guys. I know some of y'all understand that too. As Yuri actually asks her, like, do you dislike studying? And she says, absolutely, it's the worst. Do you actually like studying, Unkie? What the hell is wrong with you? And it's here that Yuri starts explaining why exactly he works so hard, actually. But first, don't call me Unkie. But he starts explaining that I was very frustrated at myself for being so powerless when I was young. I wanted to help Sis out as soon as I could. And to do that, I studied extra hard. I felt elated every time I got an answer right, as if I had grown a centimeter each time. As he explains that I studied all these different subjects so I could make the world a potentially better place for my sister. And Yuri's weird. He's definitely weird, but his intentions are good, man. These two have been through such hard times together that he wants to do whatever he can, no matter how hard he's got to work, to make the world a better place for his sister. And that is commendable. As he says, in the end, I ended up in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. But everything I worked hard to learn still helps me every day. As he tells Anya that knowledge is power. If you also want to become worthwhile, you need to unleash your brain's potential by studying. So if I study, I can make medicine? Yes. So if I study, I can make rockets? Yes. If I study, I can take over the world? Maybe on that one. As Yuri says, listen well, the test right before you doesn't matter. Instead, envision yourself being successful in the future. As Anya says, yes, sir, and they really put their backs into it and they work themselves to exhaustion. As Yuri says, well, have you mastered this grammar lesson yet? And Anya tells him, what's grammar? So no, that's a big no. And Yuri actually storms out of there, but not before eating Yor's home cooking, of course, which he throws up on the way out. And it's here that Anya starts thinking to herself that back then, if only I could have read the clock or disarmed the bomb, I might have been able to properly help Papa on his mission. As she decides that, I'm going to go study on my own. And she goes and does that. And it's here that Loid comes back, and he's proud of her for going to do that on her own, actually. Until he looks at the stuff that her and Yuri were studying and realizes, foreign language won't be on her test. They wasted their whole time. And it's at this point that I'm sure Loid feels dead inside. And it's here we transition to the second half of our episode, where our boy Loid isn't exactly sure that she's gonna pass this test. And if she fails and gets Tornorous bolts, Operation Strix is completely invalidated. It is ruined. So Loid actually disguises himself as one of the one of the instructors at the school and actually goes in there to change her answers. As he says, I need to be extra careful and leave no trace that I was here. And it's here he notices someone suspicious. As we transition to this man and he says, my name's Daybreak. I'm an elite spy for a secret organization. My mission is to alter a certain student's answer sheets. How did I get my cool name, you ask? Well, apparently a real super spy from the West named Twilight has infiltrated our country. So I decided I would be the rising star who'll fight against him. Twilight of the West, Daybreak of the East. And this man is the most ridiculous spy I've ever seen. It's literally like if a random dude off the street just picked up a fedora and all of a sudden said, I'm a super spy. Like, he's so bad. Daybreak is able to Mr. Magoo his way past the security, literally break the glass to get in, and make it inside of the North Tower, somehow. Only there's a problem. It clearly looks like that guard needs to open the door to get in, to let me in. And he is completely unprepared for this. So Loid actually has to come in and aid him, give him a fake ID, just so he doesn't screw up the mission for Loid. This man even wrote down his mission on his hand. Like, yo. But by seeing that, Loid's able to deduce that he's actually here to change the Desmond brothers' scores. And as they get to the safe and Loid ends up opening, he actually knocks Loid out. Allegedly. As he actually drags Loid into the safe to finish his mission. But we see that Loid is just let him knock him out so he could carry out the mission. As he says, it's probably safer to carry out my mission after he's done. So he's just biding his time waiting for Daybreak to get out of here. And as he finishes his mission, he exclaims that I've clearly surpassed Twilight at this point. So sorry, Twilight. Loid's just like, why is he talking about me? Can you just shut the hell up and leave already? And he says that while I'm altering these, I'll include an autograph from myself. You know, incriminating evidence. At this point, it's just too much for Loid. He has to get up and like, you're a spy! Don't willingly leave traces you were here, you freaking moron! As Daybreak realizes that, wait a minute, you're actually awake? As Loid has to continue the act as he says, I promise I won't tell anyone, so please spare my life. But Daybreak comes up to him and says, you damn well better tell everyone! Tell them how awesome I am! I need you to nonchalantly tell the masses what an awesome, cool spy I am. I don't mind if you embellish just a little bit. As he literally rolls his ass out of the vault. Loid doesn't get paid enough to deal with this shit, dude. And as he's looking, he actually realizes that Daybreak wasn't there to improve the Desmond brothers' grades. He was there to make them worse. He altered them to become failing grades. So Loid actually decides to revert their questions back to how they were, because if they fail, that would really hurt Operation Strix. And as he's looking through that, he finds Anya's, and we realize that she passed. She passed on her own. And Anya feels very satisfied by this. Till she gets home and Loid says, you just barely avoided failing. How can you be so proud? As Anya's like this, saying how I thought this would go. I kind of love how yours, like, if you add all your scores together, they exceed over 100. Positive thoughts, guys. But Loid realizes that she was able to do this on her own without anyone's help, so he should probably thank her. And our episode ends with us seeing her statistics in terms of Operation Strix. How she has she still needs 7 Stella Stars, and she still needs 7 Torturous Bolts to get expelled. And that's how our episode ends. And it was a fun little episode today, guys. You know, it wasn't anything super serious whatsoever. Just a nice, fun little episode, which I kind of needed today because, like I said, I'm really not in a good mood. I didn't even want to record today, but I owed it to you guys, and it perked me up just a little bit, which I really appreciate. So let me know what you thought of the episode down below, guys. I would love to hear your guys' opinions. If you liked the video, leave a like, give me a comment, and hit that bell button, because it definitely helps the channel out, guys. YouTube pushes out videos that have a good amount of comments and likes on it, so doing that would really help out the videos. But anyway, yeah, it was a fun episode, guys. It put a smile to my face, and I hope it did yours as well. But until next time, guys, I hope you have a great day, week, month, and year. And until then, deuces, and have a blessed day. And just remember to smile even when you don't feel like it, guys, you know? That smile of yours could really make someone's day. So I'll see you guys next time.